The truth I am about to place before you is not new. It is ancient beyond memory, eternal beyond time, and forever present within your own being. It asks nothing extravagant of you, no elaborate ritual, no long apprenticeship, no difficult system to master, no mountain of effort to climb. It asks only that you awaken to a single revelation. You are the operant power. You are not a helpless creature standing apart from abundance, looking toward it as though it lived somewhere beyond your reach. No, you are one with the source. You are joined to the fountain. You are inseparable from the wellspring of all good, and that living source abides within you now. And there are three words which, when spoken in sincerity and inward conviction, can stir that power awake and open the floodgates of what has always belonged to you. These words are not magical in the childish sense. Their power is not hidden in sound alone, nor in syllables alone, nor in repetition alone. Their power lies in the consciousness that breathes life into them. When spoken knowingly, when felt deeply, when accepted as truth, they impress the subconscious mind. And what is impressed within becomes reflected without. For the world you see around you is but the outer garment of your inner speech, the visible echo of your invisible assumption. Money, wealth, prosperity, these are not things locked outside of you, waiting for permission to enter. They are not prizes handed out only after struggle, only after suffering, only after chance decides to smile upon you. They are reflections. They are shadows cast by the state you occupy within yourself. If you desire to witness the effortless flow of money, then you must first enter inwardly the state where money flows to you naturally, easily, and without strain. You must become in imagination that which you wish to express in life, and you must remain faithful to that state until it hardens into fact. And you may ask, what are these three words? They are simple, yet they carry within them a power that can transform the entire structure of your experience. The words are, it is done. Say them now. It is done. Feel what stirs within you as you speak them with certainty. Feel your body respond. Feel your breath deepen. Feel the mind begin to soften and the inner argument grow quiet. It is done. Not it will be done. Not I hope it happens. Not someday. No, now, present, complete, fulfilled, finished in consciousness. When you say it is done, you are not begging a power outside yourself. You are not pleading with a universe that stands apart from you. You are declaring inwardly that the thing desired already exists in the only place from which all things spring. Consciousness. You are impressing upon the subconscious the very womb of creation, the finality of your wish. And the subconscious, being impersonal and faithful, receives what is impressed upon it with feeling and repetition, and brings it forth in the outer world according to that inner stamp. All things already exist as states of consciousness. There is nothing truly to create. There is only something to select. You are like a radio receiver, tuning yourself to a station that is already broadcasting. The station of wealth exists whether you recognize it or not. The station of abundance is always on the air. The station of prosperity is not invented by your effort. It is already there. And when you repeat, it is done, you are turning the dial of your own awareness to that frequency. Then, once tuned, the signal begins to play through your life. Do not be deceived by appearances. The outer world may show you a low bank balance. It may show you bills stacked high. It may show you opportunities that seem to vanish before your hand reaches them. But these things are only shadows of a previous state, residues of old inner talking, echoes of assumptions you once lived by. The moment you say it is done and truly mean it, you shift your state. And when the state changes, a new shadow begins to form. The bridge of incidents will unfold in perfect order, naturally and without strain, carrying you from where you are to the visible fulfillment of what you have assumed. The key is persistence. Not persistence in effort, but persistence in assumption. You must hold fast to the feeling of the wish fulfilled. You must return again and again to the simple inner declaration, "It is done." When you wake in the morning, before the world has a chance to speak its old language to you, before you reach for your phone, before you let the senses define your day, whisper softly yet firmly, "It is done." Feel the assurance of money flowing to you now. Feel the relief. Feel the joy. Feel the calm certainty of one who already possesses what was once desired. Carry that feeling into the day as though it were a sacred flame entrusted to your care. And when doubt arises as it may, do not wrestle with it. Do not condemn yourself for it. Simply return to the words, "It is done." Let them be your anchor. Let them call you back to center. Let them remind you that what you are seeking is not distant, not absent, not withheld. It is already within, awaiting your acceptance. You are not trying to manifest money. You are aligning with the state in which money is already yours. I once knew a man whose life was a constant struggle with lack. Each month seemed heavier than the last. He had tried affirmations. He had tried visualizations. He had tried effort after effort, and still the same pressure remained. But then he discovered the power hidden in these three words. He began to live from the state of "it is done." He would open his empty wallet and say, "It is done." He would find the mailbox filled with bills and whisper, "It is done." Not in bitterness, not in mockery, not as a trick, but with inward knowing, with calm assurance, with the recognition that appearances were only fading echoes of an old state he had already left behind. Within weeks, things began to move. A friend repaid money he had long forgotten. A new client appeared unexpectedly. A business opportunity came to him from a source he had not anticipated, and his income rose in a way that seemed almost miraculous. Yet, what had truly changed? Not the world first. The world followed later. What changed first was his state of being. He entered into the assumption that money was already his, and he repeated that assumption until the outer world had no choice but to conform. This is not superstition. This is not fantasy. This is law. It is spiritual law, immutable and exact. It is the same law that governs the rising of the sun and the coming of spring after winter. It does not care who you were yesterday. It does not care where you were born, what you have done, or what others think of you. It responds to belief. It responds to feeling. It responds to persistence. The words, "It is done," are a key, but you must turn that key with feeling. You must enter the door that opens. You must not speak words while still living in the old state. You must not repeat affirmations while silently denying them in feeling. You cannot say, "It is done," and then obsess over how it will happen. You cannot say, "It is done," and then count the minutes until manifestation arrives. Such behavior betrays the hidden doubt that still occupies the throne of consciousness. Instead, you must make "it is done" your dwelling place. Live there, sleep there, walk there, breathe there. What would you feel if you knew your account was full? What would you feel if money was arriving with ease? What would you feel if the right clients were calling, the right opportunities were appearing, the right doors were opening before you even knocked? That feeling, not the outer condition, creates the flow. And that feeling can be entered now, this very moment, simply by saying, "It is done." Close your eyes. Take a breath. Imagine the scene that would imply the fulfillment of your desire. And then say inwardly, "It is done." Do not concern yourself with whether it is real to the senses. All reality begins in imagination. Everything you now behold in the outer world was once invisible. The house you dwell in was once a thought. The money in your hand was once an idea. Every visible thing was first born in the invisible. Imagination is the womb from which creation emerges. And when you say "it is done," you are planting a seed into that fertile inward soil. Water it with belief, shine upon it with feeling, leave it in peace. Do not dig it up each hour to see whether it is growing. Faith is the substance of things hoped for, the evidence of things not seen. And when you say it is done, you are acting in faith. That faith itself is proof that your world must in due time conform. The universe is not random. It is obedient. It moves in harmony with your assumptions. Therefore, do not delay. Do not wait for proof before believing. Believe first, and you will see. Say, it is done, and you will discover that it is. In divine creation, there is no strain. There is only flow. The river does not force itself toward the sea. It moves because of law. And the law of assumption is no different. When you step into the state of it is done, the current begins to move. Money flows. Opportunities appear. Ideas come forth. And they do not come from desperation or struggle, but from alignment, from ease, from inner agreement with what is already true in consciousness. The greatest lie ever told to mankind is that abundance must be wrested from life by toil, that wealth must be earned through suffering, that you must prove yourself worthy to some unseen judge before you may receive. This is false. You are worthy now. You are enough now. You are not becoming worthy by struggle. You are already worthy by nature. And the moment you say it is done with conviction, the heavens begin to open within you. The old man, the man of fear, of doubt, of lack, of striving, must pass away. And in his place, the new man is born. The one who knows, the one who assumes, the one who rests in the finished work. Let that new man be you. Let old patterns fall away. Let old beliefs dissolve like morning mist beneath the rising sun. Let the words, it is done, become your new prayer, your new affirmation, your new song. Whisper them in secret. Speak them in silence. Proclaim them within the stillness of your own heart. And do not seek confirmation from others. The world is only your sounding board. It will echo back exactly what you persistently declare within. Therefore, speak the end. Speak the truth. Speak the reality of your desire already fulfilled. These three words are the simplest tool, and yet they can move mountains. When you truly embody them, you cease trying to make things happen. You begin to let them happen. The tension falls away. The grip on outer reality loosens. What others say or do becomes secondary, because they are only reflecting the state you occupy. If you persist in the assumption that it is done, they will mirror that assumption. But do not waver. Do not wait for them to believe before you do. You are the cause. You are the root. You are the one who sets the wheel in motion. When you lie down at night, let it is done. Be your lullaby. Feel the money in your hand. Feel the freedom in your chest. Feel the joy in your heart. Carry that feeling into sleep, for sleep is the doorway to the subconscious, and what you carry through that door is planted most deeply. Let this be your practice. Wake with, it is done. Move through the day with those words hidden like a sacred fire within you. Sleep with them upon your lips, and do not judge by the evidence of the senses. The senses are always late. They only report what the mind has long already accepted. If you desire new evidence, you must first accept a new truth. I have witnessed lives transformed by this principle. I have seen debts vanish, bankruptcies reversed, fortunes built, not through strain, not through panic, not through desperate labor, but through faith, inner movement, and assumption. And every one of them began with the same simple declaration. It is done. You do not need to know how. That is not your burden. Your only task is to accept it as already accomplished. You are the wealthy man. You are the abundant woman. You are the prosperous soul. And when you live from that identity, not reaching toward it, but living from it, the money comes not because you chased it, but because you became the one to whom money naturally flows. Say it again, it is done. Let it answer every question. Let it settle every fear. Let it silence every doubt. It is done. And it shall be, not because the world decided it, but because you did. You imagined it. You accepted it. You assumed it. And the world, faithful as always, had no choice but to follow. So go now, and let these 3 words become the rhythm of your life. Let them live in your mind. Let them rest in your heart. Let them carve a new path before you. And in time, without strain, without delay, you will find yourself dwelling in a world where money flows not as a reward for suffering, but as a reflection of the state you have claimed within. Because you have spoken the truth. It is done. Say it again. It is done. Whisper it while walking. Murmur it in the quiet of evening. Repeat it inwardly as you gaze into the mirror, not as a command to the world, but as a declaration of what already is within you. For when you believe it is done, the vibration of your being changes, and that change becomes magnetic. It draws unto itself the very essence of what you have accepted. You become like a lodestone drawing wealth, not through pursuit, but through resonance. It is not about shouting louder. It is not about visualizing harder. It is about sinking so completely into the reality of fulfillment that your whole being begins to dwell there. To say it is done is to sever yourself from the old story, the old waiting, the old hunger. You are no longer standing outside the temple of riches, hoping to be admitted. You are within. You are seated. You are at peace, knowing the feast has already begun. The repetition is not empty. It is sacred. It waters the seed. Each time you speak the words, you affirm the end and surrender to the end. You release effort, and in that surrender, the miracle appears. Walk into tomorrow with your head high and your heart full, not because the circumstances changed first, but because you did. You became the one who knows, the one who lives from the state in which money flows, not to chase it, but to be in harmony with it. It is done is not the beginning of a process. It is the end of doubt. It is the terminus of fear. It is the anchor that holds you steady while the storm of the old world passes by. And the beauty of this truth is that it asks nothing of you except belief. You need no approval from others. You need no credentials to make reality bow to you. You need no painful striving. You need only the willingness to step into the invisible and call it real. Say it is done, and feel the echo descend into the depths of your subconscious. That echo will touch every part of your being. It will seep into your thoughts, your feelings, your habits, your expectations. It will send out a new signal into the field of infinite possibility. At first, you may notice only small confirmations, a discount here, a kind word there, an unexpected sum appearing, a door opening at the right moment. Do not dismiss these things. They are not coincidences. They are signs. They are the fingerprints of the unseen, the quiet assurances that you are aligned and that more is on its way. Say it again. It is done. And with that, open the inner door wider. Money is energy, and energy is obedient. It flows toward what welcomes it. It is not drawn to lack. It is not fed by fear. It is attracted to ease, confidence, gratitude, joy, and knowing. It rushes toward the one who expects it, toward the one who, even before seeing a single dollar, carries the posture of wealth, toward the one who says it is done, and then lives as though it were so. That living need not be dramatic. It may be as simple as breathing differently, speaking more calmly, walking without hurry, choosing generosity where before there was fear. These are the outer signs of an inner acceptance, even in silence. Say it again. Let it become a gentle hum beneath your thoughts. Let it permeate your whole being until you no longer need to say it aloud, because your very existence will be saying it for you. Others will look at you and sense that something has changed. They may not know what it is, but they will feel it. Your vibration will speak before your words do. And money will come so naturally, so consistently, that you will smile when you remember the days you wondered if such things were possible. Keep going. Return to the words. When you doubt, say them. When you rejoice, say them. When you spend, say them. When you give, say them. Let it is done become your constant companion, your quiet power, your agreement with the divine order of life. Let these words erase the old inner dialogue of fear, worry, and lack. Let them dissolve every old story you ever told yourself about not being enough, not being capable, not being chosen. Let them heal the past. Let them reshape the present. Let them guide the future without resistance. You may be tempted to measure progress by what you see. Do not measure progress by what you feel. Are you calmer? Are you more trusting? Are you less disturbed by what used to shake you? That is movement. That is alignment. That is proof that the state is changing. And when the state changes, the world must conform. There will come a day, if you persist, when you will look around and realize you are living inside the very scene you once only imagined. You will enter places you once saw only in your mind. You will hold in your hands the visible evidence of wealth, and you will remember that it was once only a feeling, once only an inward certainty. And you will smile, knowing that it is done was never merely a phrase. It was truth spoken into being. But even then, do not stop speaking it. For life is a continual unfolding of desire, fulfillment, and greater desire. Each fulfilled state opens the door to a larger one. So say it is done, again, not because you lack, but because you are expanding. Let it be your song of creation. Let it be the rhythm of your conversation with the infinite. And if ever you begin to slip, if fear returns, if appearances grow loud, if the world tries to sing the old song again, then be still, return to yourself, close your eyes, breathe deeply, and with reverence declare once more, it is done. Let it ring through your inner world. Let it break every chain. Let it silence every lie. Let it rise from your heart like a decree from heaven. Say it as though it were the final word, the only truth, the supreme declaration of your soul. For it is, because when you say it is done, you are no longer seeking, you are no longer struggling, you are no longer postponing your miracle, you are claiming it. And in the claiming, it is yours. You are no longer the one who waits, you are the one who is. Your world will begin to mirror this inward transformation with precision. The offer comes, the opportunity appears, the client calls, the bill is resolved, the money arrives before you even know how to explain it. Not because you forced it, but because you aligned with it. You assumed the feeling of the wish fulfilled, and you repeated the sacred declaration, it is done. Each repetition strengthened the foundation of your new reality. Not a hope, not a possibility, a fact. And you did not need to convince the world. The world does not respond to your explanations. It responds to your embodiment. It responds to your state. The law is always active. The moment you impress upon the subconscious that your desire is fulfilled, the outer world begins to rearrange itself in perfect obedience. You may still hear voices speaking of lack. You may still see headlines built upon fear. But none of that has authority over you unless you grant it authority. You have withdrawn your loyalty from the old and given your allegiance to the new. That is the great discipline, to remain loyal to the unseen over the seen, to say it is done even when the senses have not yet agreed. That is true faith. That is the key. Money is not earned by toil alone. It is magnetized by consciousness. Some labor endlessly and receive little. Others move in inspired ease and are met by abundance. The difference is not the effort. The difference is the state. when you change your concept of self, when you assume the identity of the one who already possesses what was sought, the world must mirror that identity. Do not confuse persistence with struggle. To persist in an assumption is not to force or strain. It is to quietly hold the end, regardless of appearance, and return again and again to the same inward truth. It is done. This is how you become the master of your inner world. This is how you rewrite the script, not by force, but by faith. And if you have ever doubted your worthiness, hear this now. Wealth is your birthright. Abundance is your natural state. The very fact that you can imagine a life of ease, overflow, and freedom is proof that such a life is for you. You could not desire what was not meant for you. Desire is the whisper of the divine, calling you to remember what you are. And you answer that call with 3 words. It is done. Some may ask, how can it be done when I do not yet see it? But understand this. All things are first created in consciousness. The seen is only the echo of the unseen. Do not be deceived by time. Time is not your master. Time is your servant. It will deliver the harvest of your assumptions without fail. And the moment you assume it is done, time begins its sacred work of aligning every condition necessary to reflect that state. Therefore, speak the words without hesitation. Say them with the confidence of one who knows the outcome is already secure. Let them become your inner rhythm. Let them shape your days and guard your nights. Say them as you fall asleep, allowing the subconscious to absorb their meaning. Say them as you wake, before the old thoughts try to reclaim your attention. Let every breath, every glance, every silent moment carry the knowing, it is done. And in doing so, you shift the fabric of your life. You move from hoping to knowing, from wishing to being, from waiting to claiming. You take your seat as creator and decree your reality. The law cannot be broken. The world must reflect the story you persistently tell yourself within. So when the money appears, and it will, do not be astonished. You called it forth not by begging, not by force, but by faith. You no longer chased. You allowed yourself to receive. You became the one to whom it naturally belongs, and therefore it had no choice but to appear. And even in abundance, continue to declare, it is done. For creation is not a single event. Life unfolds endlessly. New desires arise. New horizons open. The principle remains the same. The law does not change. It simply waits for your next assumption, your next inward decree, your next act of faith. And then the process begins again, easy, natural, inevitable. Others may wonder how you do it. They may ask for your strategy, your method, your secret. And you will smile, because you know the answer was never found in the hustle. It was never hidden in the plan. It was never buried in the struggle. It was always in the inner world, in the sovereign decision to feel it done, and to repeat those 3 sacred words until they became your identity. The riches of the world respond to the richness of your inner being. When your mind is rich with the feeling of already having, your life must follow. You are not manipulating outer circumstances. You are harmonizing with them. You are tuning yourself to the frequency where fulfillment already exists. And the moment you do this truly, you become unstoppable. For there is no power greater than consciousness, aware of its own creative authority. No obstacle can stand before the one who lives from the end. No limitation can endure in the presence of persistent assumption. The outer world may attempt to distract you. It may speak of delay, but delay is not denial. It is only the space between planting and harvest. Do not dig up the seed with doubt. Water it with the words, it is done. These words are the pattern of creation itself, the key that opens the floodgates of abundance. When repeated with unwavering faith, they align your being with the infinite source, and money flows not as strain, not as chase, not as desperation, but as a natural expression of what you have become. So claim this truth boldly. Walk through life as the master of your inner world, the creator who knows beyond doubt that the desire is fulfilled. Let nothing shake your certainty, no setback, no delay, no appearance, no fear. Nothing can stand against the force of a persistent assumption. The universe moves in harmony with those who live from the end. And when you do, you step into a life of effortless wealth and limitless possibility. The moment is now. Say it with conviction. Live it with confidence. And watch as the invisible becomes visible, the impossible becomes inevitable, and your life is transformed by the simple, profound power of these 3 words. It is done. This is Neville Lectures. I'll see you again in the next video.